Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of WLW Behind the Curtain. This is a different type of episode than you're used to. Not just a conversation. We'll be recapping last night's Summer Clash. It was a hell of a night. Obviously, we'll get into all of that. Reason why cameras are not on is I'm in pretty bad shape, but I'll get into that when we get into the main event, and we'll go from there. So, starting off with the show. We had a sold out crowd in Seattle, Washington. It was a stoked crowd. I am joined by MFJ. We started off with a banger. Last woman standing match, Julia Inferno versus Valara Velez. I mean, what can't we say about this match?
No, this was insane.
Both women gave it everything they had, and it ended in a brutal fashion when Valara Velez got put into a stair and from a raging inferno. It was a brutal match, and Julia Inferno retained. And then something unforeseen happened. The debut of Ruby Storm, and that's what I want to kind of focus our conversation on. What the fuck does this mean going forward? Obviously, from RCW, Rock City Wrestling, a Detroit promotion, we signed Ruby Storm without me knowing. Krios let the people know. But yeah, she came in and dominated the champion. And where the fuck do we go from here? I mean, on Monday, we're going to have a moment where obviously there'll be explanations, but I mean, what was your reaction to seeing, as someone who's a part of the locker room, seeing Ruby Storm appear for one and then take out the champion?
I'm very tight with the champion. I'm very tight with her. The Colombian connection. I was stunned. I didn't know who this was. I'd never seen Ruby Storm before. So imagine my shock seeing her show up and then to do that to the champion. I was like, oh my
It
god.
kind of felt like, and I'll be honest, it kind of felt like this is my division type
Yeah.
feel. Like, yeah, this is my championship. You are just a stepping stone. I'm taking over WLW. That is the kind of feel I got when I was on commentary. That match was phenomenal, and then Ruby came in, and she didn't ruin it by any means, but she added more to
No.
it. And that's the thing, is it's like you look at these matches and it's like, oh my god, who the fuck is this? And then we get
Yeah.
this massive signing. But I mean, that's all I have from that opening segment. What a fight. It was a hell of a fight. Valara Velez should be proud of herself for sticking in as long as she did. But Julia Inferno, again, just proving why she's one of the best. Then the first change of the night, the first title change, the Mexico Championship match inside of a steel cage. Now, starting this match, Icano Caedo had a different look to him, and you could see it in the mask and the vibe he brought. But the story is in the match. Domino de Fuego had it won. And obviously, Domino is only 23 years old. He's been a dominant Mexico champion. As someone who's been in the business long like you have, and I'm starting to get more as a veteran feel with it, that is a rookie mistake. You gotta take the win. You are a champion. You have it in the bag. And
It almost felt like he was playing with his food. It
Yeah.
almost felt like that, he was coasting to the win and he just it looked like it was academic, and it looked like he just was like, "You know what? I wanna send a message that I'm the most dominant
Yeah.
Mexico champion of all time and everything else." And I don't know if it was his ego that got in the
Yeah.
way, but it blew up in his face. And I know Austin on commentary absolutely railed
Oh, he
on
ripped
Domino
him.
de
He
Fuego
ripped him.
and said and like, "You don't do that. You don't make that mistake. I know that. You know that."
Yeah.
And Austin knows that because like you said, you're still coming up. You're
Yeah.
still on the ranks. Where me and Austin, we've been around enough,
Yeah. Mhm.
and whenever there's a moment where you gotta, no pun intended, cut the snake's head off,
Yeah.
you do it. and he let him flail a little too long. He let him back into the fight,
Yeah.
and look what happened. A tsunami just
Well, I mean,
exploded, and it was over.
Icano Kato is now a two-time Mexico champion. He is a very conniving man. He knows how to trick talent. He knows how to sucker them in and then deliver the killing blow, and that's exactly what happened. And it was academic, like you said, for Dilmano de Fuego, but then it flipped. It seemed like there was something that changed in that mindset of Icano Kato of, oh, there's an opening, and he took it and he just ran with it, and now we have a new Mexico champion. And he adds his name for the first ever two-time Mexico champion. Obviously, the Mexico championship has not been held by many men, only 4 now. Maquina de la Muerte, Icano Kato, Dilmano de Fuego, and I believe El Gerald. So that's 4, and now one of them is a two-time champion. But it was in a steel cage. They were locked in, and House of Red got a piece of gold that night, last night. And going into the next match, the triple threat, which, by the way, what a fight that was. JC Harkless, I just got to say, is one of the best wrestlers we have here in WLW, and it is bar none. She owned this match. She kicked everyone's ass from top to bottom, and to the point where I was like, what the fuck does she have to do? Because they kept kicking out. Obviously, we'll get into a little bit of it, but Marana Copeland became a non-factor, and that she got eliminated pretty much immediately, and it was between Kana and JC. And that dynamic is something I want to discuss with you. Do you think that was intentional? Was that a message to Marana Copeland and maybe even the women's locker room of, hey, Marana doesn't deserve this. This is between us two. We're the two best in the business.
I mean, yes and no, because Marana's always been that ultimate opportunist.
Yeah.
But it's just felt like, but and knowing JC and knowing how it went down. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Yeah.
foreshadowing here,
Yeah.
but um with Kana,
Yeah.
and it was one of those where they wanted to take her out of it to just focus on them two. Because remember, JC is still pissed
Yeah.
at Kana because
Yeah.
she felt like my moment got stolen
Yeah.
because your boyfriend jumped on the
Yeah.
apron and got involved. Where this time around, Austin didn't get involved,
No.
but still, it feels like she got cheated out of the title
I mean, but
in a
also,
grand scheme of things.
you got to give Kana credit. That, and you've been in the ring longer than I have, that's a veteran move.
Oh,
I mean, knowing exactly where your opponent is, what to do, and then at the last minute, fucking switch. JC gets thrown out of the ring. Kana, taking advantage of JC, who has pulverized Marana Copeland at this point, covers the champion, which does 2 things. 1, that pins the champion, gets rid of the rematch clause in a triple threat match. 2, JC does not get pinned, which means there can still be a little bit of fight between the two of them because JC was never pinned. Marana was. Marana's out of the picture entirely. But Kana has proven once again that her intellect in the ring is way more intelligent than people give her credit for. And that was one of the things that wowed me was what a intelligent maneuver. You waited for JC to hit the Redeemer, and then at the last moment threw JC out of the ring, covered Marana Copeland, who's out fucking cold. And that was the end. And now we have a new women's world champion once again. Kana being the first ever 2-time women's world champion. Congratulations to her as we go on to something that's going to be a short conversation. Tribal Combat. Oba Fatu has Tekka Halcon. The only thing I have to say, Oba dominates. That's it.
Yeah. Basically the chief proves why he is the chief.
Yeah.
I got to see it firsthand when he won the title at Coastal Combat. No, not at Coastal Combat, at Genesis 2 in Germany. And we were there when we saw it, and it's just the continuation of the domination of what is starting to look like an unstoppable title
He's got a
reign.
3rd gear, man.
Yeah.
He really does. I think like you were alluding to it, the unstoppable reign. He's got a 3rd gear, and in that match, as Tekka Halcon delivered immediately, he fucking when he hit his finisher, And it was like, oh my God, that's it. Oba kicked out. We're thinking,
Yep.
oh, this is the change, right? Changing of the tides. Now Azteca is going to start getting offense in. Fucking third gear kicks in, and Oba Fatu obliterates Azteca Halcon. And as a commentator watching that, it's like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
that Samoan
insane.
blood.
Yeah.
It's that Samoan blood. And the thing is, the one thing I was always noticing is that anytime he made a move, especially going for the head area, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, he's a Samoan.
Yeah.
He doesn't get affected by any
No.
headshots. You gotta go
Headbutts,
for the
headbutts.
body. You
Yeah,
gotta go
dude.
for the
Yeah. Yeah.
like it's like you gotta know that. You gotta
Yeah.
do your homework. And I think in one sense, I think he did, but in a sense he didn't do his homework,
Yeah.
and we saw what happened. It was a massacre by the champ.
So then we go into the second to last match before the main event, where Kalego, our boss, Krios, went one-on-one with
Mhm.
Hanzo Kojima. What a fun match that was. Hanzo came out on top, but man, Krios gave him a run for his fucking money. I'll tell you
Oh, he
what,
did.
that was so many fucking tables. The two of them tore the house down. It was a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, Hanzo Kojima proves why he's the modern day samurai. He proves why he's a part of Bullet Club Platinum. And again, just continuing this. Now you can say you beat the boss. Now you can say you've gotten to the top of the mountain. He's a former world heavyweight champion. He knows. Now he's just searching for that back. Obviously, me and Austin being the tag team champions,
Yeah.
the Bullet Club
Bullet
Platinum's obviously thinking they want that title back.
Yeah, absolutely. Or does he have bigger desires about maybe even a singles title?
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
there is something coming down the line
Yeah,
that maybe he might have something to strive for. And like you said, it was I got to give a lot of love to Krios, man,
yeah.
because I know you were saying it. I know Austin was saying it. You were asking him. You're like, dude, are you sure you want to do this? Like, this is
The lose
not like
lose.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I'm a little like you were saying, and you even just said to me straight out, you're like, dude, I'm a little nervous for Krios, man, because
yeah,
he hasn't been in the ring in a long time.
yeah.
I'm worried about ring rust. I'm worried about all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but it's TLC. I mean, he's gonna start going tables crazy,
Yeah.
and sure enough, it was. We had maybe what one or
I
two
think
ladders,
we had
a
one or two
million
ladders.
tables,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
a million tables and no chairs, and I'm like, I could
What's the
have sworn
fucking
there was a
point?
chair or
What's
two
the point of the
in there.
chairs? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Fuck the
it's like
chairs.
so yes, but that I'm gonna say it, man. I literally cringed when I saw that brainbuster through the table. I was like,
Oh my
oh my
god.
god.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no. And I was saying the same thing. I'm like, yeah, you might want to get medical like
that was
now
bad. That
for
was bad,
Krios.
dude. Yeah. So then
So
after that, we had the biggest match of the night, the main event. The WLW Championship was on the line. Myself, Pagano Jr., was in a match against the devil himself, Brian Anderson. The reason why cameras aren't on, I'll get into that now. I have 12 stitches in my head. I have 6 stitches in my cheek. I have 3 stitches in my leg. I have staples in my arm. I'm tore the fuck up.
yeah,
My
yeah.
mask is in bad shape. But I got another one on the way, so I'll have that for Monday come Evolution. But well, I mean, I'll just go through what I was feeling in that moment. The crowd obviously was lifting me through this fight. Um, but honestly, I don't know how the fuck I was able to deal with what I dealt with. I mean, he brought out a goddamn plank of wood with nails,
Yeah.
and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I got bashed, brutaled. I got fucking choked. I mean, it was a rough match. When I came home, Sabrina was like, "If you ever do that again, I'm killing you." And I laughed. But it was one of those things where I fought through it. I fought through everything I had to do. I thought about what Austin did. I did a lot of research going into this fight, and at the end of the day, I mean, I almost lost it. I was very close to losing it, but I couldn't. I mean, you got to think. This man put Mexi in the ICU. This is my vengeance. This
Yeah.
is what I want. I can't lose tonight, and I refuse to die. I would not give in. However, I did not, for some fucking reason, account for the House of Red. And that is where I would like to say thank you to you. Because without you, I would not probably be still wrestling today. Matt Spade getting involved and you going out of your way to completely take out Matt Spade, Mystiquezilla, and Ikana Kato speaks to your character. And I know we've both been through hell together. We've been through fights and we've tore each other apart in matches, but it just shows the respect. Regardless, hell or high water, you knew what was at stake. It wasn't about a rivalry between me and you. It's about the title and not losing everything this company is built on. This is about Mexi.
Yeah.
It's not about anything else. And when you came out, when I was on the ground bleeding, like cut to shit, I'm still hurting today from this match. And when your music hit, I mean, it was elation. I didn't know what to do. And then you did what you did. And
it's funny too because let me go through my sense of the whole matter. So I was in the back, I was in the locker room area, and so I saw Matt Spade show up.
yeah,
So instantly I made a beeline towards the area.
yeah,
The funny thing is that right before I got to Gorilla, I get a text message from and I didn't know, and I'm not gonna reveal the name
yeah,
because I rather keep this person private
yeah,
because this person was very instrumental for me. So
yeah,
that was when they're like, "Hey, I want to let you know House of Red is in Gorilla."
yeah,
So I basically am saying, I'm like, "All right, how many?" They're like, "2."
yeah,
And I was like, "All right, is there anything like weaponry or something in Gorilla that I might be able to use or something?" And this person, where I gotta say thank you, gave me like a whole shot of the entire Gorilla position.
yeah,
So they're in Gorilla on a monitor right at the curtain where it goes out to the arena.
yeah,
So all I just had to do was just sneak on in, and then once I was like, all right. So I just turned into a bull into a china shop,
yeah.
took them out, and I tossed them. And then I told that said person, hit my music. I want to give a
I couldn't
diversion.
see Matt Spade's face because obviously me and Brian were out on the mat
Yeah,
bleeding. I
yeah.
couldn't even, until this morning when I saw the footage, the shock of Matt Spade. But obviously, I mean, this goes deeper than that. This is, Matt
Oh yeah,
Spade has gone out of his way to fuck you over with everything you've done for him.
yeah.
And, it's just one of those things where now he's in the House of Red. So now he's public enemy number one. And when you came out and you fucking beat the piss out of him, and I was still down, I didn't know what the hell to do. But you took Matt Spade back, and obviously we didn't get this on footage. But from my understanding, is you took care of business, so I appreciate that. However, you were not the only one that went out of their way to make this happen. I would like to point out the streak is over. The undefeated streak of Brian Anderson ended last night. The year-long title reign ended last night. Because of one man, not just MFJ, not Austin Slokey, a masked man. When Psychopata was attempting to screw me even more, a masked man came in and took out Psychopata. To my surprise, it was Stephen Crowley. I want to give my utmost thank you to Stephen Crowley. I don't know why you did what you did. Frankly, I don't care why you did what you did. But thank you. In my time of need, you were there. And I promise you that debt will be repaid. Or whatever it needs to happen, wherever, whenever, you got me. I promise you that.
Oh, I appreciate it too. And you know what? I could not believe um eh, the Crawley.
Yeah.
I like I because I didn't even get a chance because I was still fighting with
Yeah.
Matt Spade. Security jumped us and basically broke us apart. And then I heard, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" I
Yeah.
turn around and I see Crawley beating the daylights out of Brian
Yeah.
Anderson, and I'm like, "Wait, what?
In that moment,
Crawley?"
when Brian got hit with 2 doomsdays, the only thing I thought of was, oh, it's it. This is it. This is the moment.
This is the
This is
moment.
it.
Yeah, you
Climbed up to
gotta
the
go for
top
it.
rope, delivered a giant fucking coup de grace, the most brutal I could deliver with what I have. And dude, let me tell you, when that bell rung, tears, tears of fucking joy, tears of revenge. We ended. Now this fight is far from over. I can already tell you right now, but I took pleasure. We did not get it on footage of cutting that motherfucker's hair off. I took pleasure in buzz cutting that motherfucker because at the end of the day, this title is bigger than him. And I made a promise that I would bring it back to the people. I would bring it back to Mexi. I would bring it back to the people that matter the most. And I meant it. I'm a man of my fucking word. And at the end of the day, I fought as hard as I fucking could in that match. And ultimately, I came home with gold, and it's surreal. The Seattle crowd behind me. I know after we went off air, Austin came in the ring, you came in the ring. And Crowley stood, I don't know if you noticed this, but Crowley stood on the ramp the whole time. And I know Mexi texted me after the fact and said, congratulations. I look forward to working beside you. And dude, it was just, when that bell rang, everything hit at once.
Yeah, and
Something you worked so hard for your entire
yeah,
life, and now I
it's
have it.
it's funny, man, because it was very reminiscent of when I won the title in Providence.
Yeah,
It was almost that similar
yeah,
feeling. It's just that you don't realize the moment until it actually happened. And dude, I mean, just seeing you holding that WLW title in your hands, and I feel it. And you're like you say, you're all cut it up. You're a bloody mess.
yeah,
You went through the war, and it just and I think and I remember you were saying you're like for the first time in a long time I feel alive, and that's
yeah,
exactly what it felt. And that's exactly what and that it is. Because when you because at everybody was saying, "Oh, he doesn't care about the title. He doesn't care about the title. He's more about the mask and everything else." I think that moment when you won it, it pretty much signified that no, you know what this moment meant for you. You know
yeah.
what this meant, and I think that's something that's gonna resonate to the fans for a very long time. Is just the blood, the sweat, and the tears that you put through that you've worked so hard for
Yeah.
to do it. So yeah, man, props to you.
So what? I mean, like the question was raised from Sabrina when I got home. What's next? Well, I have a feeling our battle is not over with House of Red.
Oh no,
I have a
I
very
don't think
bad
so.
feeling that what Stephen Crowley did, there's going to be repercussions. And I am keeping my eye on Kings Row because 2 reasons. One, I don't know what Brian's going to do. Two, Mr. Golden Ticket.
Yeah,
There'll be qualifier matches next Monday and Saturday. And I'm going to have to keep my eye on every single man and woman who's in that match because whoever wins it has a shot at this title. And I promise you, I'm not going down without a fight. This title will not leave my hand unless the person that takes it from me deserves it.
mm,
And I know we have a long road ahead of us, but it started in Seattle, and I'm hoping it ends sometime later. I know Austin said he's extremely proud of me, and it was a moment where, like you said, I felt you said that I told you I felt alive. In that moment, that crowd in Seattle, by the way, what a phenomenal crowd that was. Just that moment of lifting that title and everyone felt like a family fucking finally coming back together. I ended the streak. And it's poetic that the place that he won the title is the place that it was taken from him.
Yeah.
And I'm a man of my fucking word. I've always been a man of my word, and I will continue to be a man of my word. This title represents everything to WLW. Sure, my mask is important, but if this title is gone, this company means nothing. If this title isn't in the company, this company has nothing. And that was what I fought for last night. Sure, it sucked. It was tough. It was rough. I don't know when we're going to hear from Brian Anderson again. I'm going to have a state of address on next Monday. I will talk about that now. And I'm going to try to figure out what the hell or why Stephen Crowley did what he did. Regardless of why, I still thank him for going out of his way and completely shell-shocking the world. But yeah, I mean, it was surreal to become WLW champion in such an monumentous fashion. Now, you got gold. I got gold. I've had gold. But the question is, when is Asuka going to get gold? Because it's coming around. And obviously, I mean, we've talked about it behind the stage, but behind the scenes, and I mean, you being a part of not even just WLW, the developmental of other stars and stuff. I mean, you got guys like Aristar Jr. coming up, who we signed. We've got guys like Ray Tarantula coming up. I mean, Yellow Toro. Obviously, a massive talent that we signed, and it's just El Io de Calego. I mean, obviously, all these guys. I mean, you've been in development with them, and now they're coming up in WLW, and it's a wonderful time to be a part of this company. It's just a matter of what the fuck's next. And for me, it's defending this title with everything I have and this tag team title. It's going to be a little hard being double champ, but if I can beat Brian Anderson, I can hold on to this title for at least a couple of months. Yeah, I mean, that was Summer Clash. What a night. One of the best shows we've ever put on. I just got to say, Jake Ross did a great job. He fucking killed it. So much so that Krios offered him a job as an interviewer in WLW along with Sabrina. So Sabrina has talked about getting back in the ring, but she's not in ring shape in the slightest. I'm probably going to get shit for saying that. But
knowing her, because I'll bet you anything now.
You can't keep down. You cannot. I promise you, for the person that I've married, the person that I've known for a long time, you cannot keep, in her eyes, the heiress to the throne of hell out of wrestling.
Yeah.
The queen, she calls herself the queen of demons, the heiress to the throne. And she's been eyeing a lot of talent, especially Julia Inferno. But I keep joking with her. I'm like, bro, you can't, you're still not in ring shape. I'm like, I'm in the best shape of my fucking life. And she's not. I mean, I'm probably gonna get shit for that. But
I wonder how many times you've actually ended up sleeping on the couch because of this.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. Trust me, the couch is so, you have to understand that couch is a special couch because it's comfortable as fuck. But dude, I'll tell you one thing that I will never forget. Dude, when I came home last night, and when I came in this morning, and Octavia fucking seeing the gold, she fucking lost it. And Sabrina was freaking out, and it was a moment where it was like, holy shit, this is real.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get that again. That moment I have to remember going forward and keep that as fuel. I do have an update before we go. It's been a wonderful time talking with you. Mexi will be making his return to WLW Evolution next Monday. He has been cleared from the ICU. He's headed home. I actually had a wonderful conversation with him earlier on today over lunch. He is back. He looks good. And, I want to say something that people don't probably know, but fuck it. I'm going to say it anyway. You want to tell the people that you were there, like, every single day checking on Mexi? Are you going to let that be known yet, or or you just want to act like that never happened? Because I know Mexi appreciated that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, look, Mexi's been on me about a lot of things, about a whole bunch of stuff. But
Yeah,
like I said, I whenever I've gotten a chance, because obviously I also have commitments for myself. I
yeah,
also am defending the world television title.
yeah,
But every time I'll either text Max, or I'll just, sometimes I'll even use like the Google voice chat just to hit him up and just say,
yeah,
hey, yo, hey, how you doing? What's going on? This
yeah,
and that. Yeah, I mean, look, he can be a stubborn SOB. He can be a
yeah,
pain in my ass. But the thing is, I know how much he means to you, how much he means to Austin. So I was like, I mean, now we've gotten like mutual respect. I
yeah,
think that's the best way we can say it. He still gives me a hard time. You know that.
yeah. I
You know
do. Yeah, I mean, he's a
he
piece of
gives me a
shit.
hard time.
He's a piece of shit.
But
It's what he does.
but I respect, but like I said, I've been like you've been saying, I've been hitting him up, checking
Yeah,
on him. I think the last time I actually like legitly got to see him was about maybe 3 days ago,
yeah. I want to say it was
the
3 days
summer class.
ago. Yeah, before Summer
And
Clash.
before summer class, and he looked good.
Yeah,
I even said, I was like, so when are we gonna see you back in the saddle again, you shithead? And
yeah,
he started laughing, and then
yeah.
he was like, nah. He's like, hopefully. He told me about he told me not right away. He told me like hopefully a couple of weeks. So to hear that he's coming back on Monday, I'm excited. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. But I thank you for your time, Fletcher. It's been a wonderful conversation. Obviously, we'll do this
Yes,
again, probably maybe with Austin after Kings Row, depending on what happens at Kings Row. But obviously, we got the
absolutely.
two golden ticket matches. We got the Miss Golden Ticket, the Mr. Golden Ticket, and then whatever happens after that. But we hope you all enjoyed WLW Behind the Curtain. It's always a pleasure to sit down and talk with MFJ. And we will see you all in the next episode of WLW. Have a great evening.